What's going on, people? It's your boy MMA Crease King Jr. coming back to you with another video. And in today's video, we are going to talk about Fantastic Four. I know on the other like last Friday, we first want to thank the Sasuke sisters for coming on the pod, and I want to thank them for that. But also did a small little tiny quick review out of the theater review on how I felt about the Fantastic Four movie. Now, once again, I still am sticking with my opinion. I think that Superman was a better movie. Overall, I had more fun with Superman. I thought Superman was it's the better comic book film. Right now, Superman is the number one comic book film of this year in 2025 for all the comic book films that have came out that has grossed a lot more money. So those are facts, and you can go look those up in Variety and all those other credible articles, and you can do the research on that on your own. You know, Fantastic Four right now is still so for what I have listened to and saw so far, shout out to WD Pro, shout out to to some of those other news articles out there. Ryan Kendall already did a video on how Fantastic Four is doing right now, and right now it is not doing that great leg wise domestically for Fantastic Four. So the MCU, as usual, the lifeless corpse is still walking. And it's still being like The Walking Dead. The zombie just won't die. But now that we got all that stuff out of the way, now this is my in-depth review on how I felt about Fantastic Four and why I give it me personally a 5. Okay, so entertainment wise, this video is gonna be a little bit all over the place. The entertainment wise, I didn't get enough with Mr. Fantastic and stretchy powers. Once again, the Fantastic Four franchise has failed me again. I have tried to give this I tried to give this superhero group plenty of chances. I guess it's just never gonna happen. I just don't think there will ever be, me, in my honest opinion, objectively a good Fantastic Four movie. Every one of the Fantastic Four movies have failed me when it comes to entertainment. And one of the main things is, at least in the other Fantastic Four movies, they use Mr. Fantastic stretching powers really good. I didn't get enough of that in this movie. Unfortunately, if you're hoping to see Mr. Fantastic use his stretchy powers, good luck. It's not gonna happen. Pedro Pascal is too bougie for doing science fiction type of things. But the as far as the acting wise, Pedro Pascal did phenomenal. I'm not the biggest Pedro Pascal person, aka Free My Girl Gina Carano. Yeah, I just don't think I just don't I like just Mr. Fantastic in general wasn't utilized enough with his stretching powers. As far as Sue is not a girl boss, so that's a point in the good direction on what for the entertainment wise. Um, Johnny did his thing, like the guy that played Johnny. So yeah, like Johnny was acting like Johnny, and that's good on Fantastic Four. They still kept him the way they were supposed to, and I think the thing was not utilized enough. I think you know overall the cast did good with their team dynamic. Like, I'll say that's I said in one of my reviews on Instagram, I said, this is the best Fantastic Four movie out of all out of all five of the Fantastic Four movies that have existed, franchise wise or whatever. Because you have the one that happened in the '90s, you got the two in the mid 2000s, you got one that would happen in like 2015, Fan Four Stick, and now you got this one too. And honestly, it's not even close, entertainment wise. That this one did pretty well, but for me, I just wasn't feeling it. It just it just the plot, which I'm gonna start talking about next. So, the plot. Let's just go straight into the plot. Uh, Galactus. Okay, so Galactus looked phenomenal. Galactus looked phenomenal. I think it was awesome watching Galactus, not be a fort cloud like in the Silver Surfer, um, and which we'll talk about that too. I have issues with that, but Galactic, the plot. So of course, Sue and Reed, they have a son, and like if you know the comic books, his son is their son is one of the most powerful beings in Marvel, not just in on the team, but just in Marvel in general. I believe his name is let me see, I think it's I want to say it's Nathan or whoever. uh Hold on, you're gonna get this is when I am not afraid to like do some research real quick. What is the name of Mr. Fantastic's son? Franklin. My bad. Franklin Richards. However, Franklin going to be a is gonna can like literally control universes. Like he can like bring people back to life. He's like really OP. So like um yeah, so their son is the key to everything type of thing. So my problem is, Galactus, this all-powerful being, says, I don't want to be Galactus anymore. I need a predecessor. I need a person to take over once I'm done. So you're telling me that the all-powerful Galactus is just saying like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to be the conqueror of universes anymore. This is so boring, man. I just want to go ahead and just say like, yo, hey, I need to take a pupil. I need somebody to take over. And you know what? I pick Franklin because you know what? The plot says it's okay that we got to pick Franklin. Yeah, because Franklin's the MacGuffin in this whole entire crappy movie. Just saying, I'm sorry, like to all my for um all the guys, all my peers that watch this movie. I don't know what you guys were watching, but this is the opposite of Superman. Like, it's a little too on the nose on why the plot is the way it is because they couldn't because Galactus, the all-powerful being, needs a little child to take over him. Doesn't make any sense to me, but hey, we move on, right? We move on. So yeah, Franklin Richards is one of the most powerful beings in the MCU. Yada yada yada. With uh and also, yes, there's another part of this, thing. Yes, the Earth is almost about to go. Their universe is almost about to go. Of course, um, another one of the major things that I had a problem with this movie was the Silver Surfer or whatever, like not being male or whatever. So yeah, that like she had her moment on why her and Johnny sort of had this connection or whatever. Yeah, like she used to be a mom back in the day. Um, and from what I've read from the comic books, I don't like Shia LaBeouf or whatever. I think that's how you say her name. Forgive me if I didn't pronounce it correctly. But yeah, she's like she used to be a person or whatever. She loses her child. Of course, she gets really bitter, and her being really bitter, like Galactus's consent like senses the hatred inside her heart, and that's why he picks her to be his Silver Surfer, even though Nolan Rad exists, and we just can't get that because on the backs of representation. Thanks a lot, Kevin Feige. I'm seeing how that's doing so great right now because of representation and all that nonsense that we carry in the comic book films. But we move on once again. So yeah, that one of the major things is you got the plot with the plot or whatever is you got two MacGuffins going out at the same time. Shyla trying to fight her demons with Galactus, saying like what this is wrong or whatever, and then you got Franklin, that's the MacGuffin of the movie, still trying to figure out why a little child is I mean once again the child is comic book wise, we know that he's powerful, but it still doesn't make any sense that the all powerful being of Galactus wants a predecessor. It makes no sense. It really doesn't. Come on, people. Like you guys were being so hard on on Superman. I'm gonna need the same energy with Fantastic Four. The plot was not good. The villain motivation was not good. At least with Lex Luthor uh, plot motivation. It's simple. He's Lex Luthor. He's trying to take over the Earth. He doesn't like Superman. He thinks Superman is evil or whatever. And to a certain point, he makes good points on why we should not be worshiping Superman. That's Superman in a nutshell, and Lex Luthor Laurel in a nutshell. And that's what we got in James Gunn. So that's why I say the villain motivation in Superman was way better than we got with Galactus. It makes no sense. The MacGuffin, the little kid is the MacGuffin. Like and we're excusing this. We're excusing. Yeah, oh, this is better than Superman because we don't like James Gunn. Like, come on, dog. Like, seriously, that's what this was about. However, like, totally, you guys totally were not like giving the same energy, and that was like telling me, like, oh, come on, dog. Like, I get it. You like Fantastic Four more than Superman. You have every right to, but I'm just saying, like, let's keep the same energy. Okay. All right. So, another thing. So yeah, Reed doesn't know how he's going to uh, beat Galactus. We have to beat Galactus some type of way because plot convenience or whatever. Okay, so we're gonna skip to the fight or whatever. Let's skip to the fight because overall, like the pacing of the movie, like, pacing wise, this movie did okay. However, I'll even give it a little bit of the edge that the pacing wise was better than Superman. Like it felt the pacing was pretty straightforward, but I'm not gonna lie. That's where the time felt like it was just slowing up. Like they were keeping a consistent pacing, like like that first hour or so, you could feel that hour, and then that last 44 minutes of the movie, I felt like that it was just going by real quick. They just wanted to show you like they did the research. They were doing the research on how to beat Galactus, and like we're gonna teleport that or whatever. We're gonna teleport our Earth to a different Earth or whatever, and there we go. There we go. That's how we're gonna beat Galactus. And of course, once again, because of the plot, Shia LaBeouf, like they destroyed the shields to protect them from knowing where Galactus is gonna, find their Earth, so he doesn't eat it or whatever. Uh, so Galactus is like taking on. I mean, Galactus is doing his thing. Once again, he's trying to find Franklin so he can make him his predecessor, and he can like teach him how to eat planets and rule over every universe. Again, this is not a good plot, by the way, but but it's better than Superman, right? Okay. Yeah. Kind of. Okay. What else about this movie? I'm trying to think, like, cause I can't name you anything else out of this movie. Like, uh Reed is not, I mean, Reed is somewhat comic accurate, The Thing is comic accurate. Oh yeah, let's get to the fight. Ending let Just to end this video because this video is going a little too long. Okay, so the fight. We're gonna get to the main thing. Okay, main event. Okay, so of course, the guys are like, for every Marvel movie, there always has to be a moment of MCU, and this was the moment. So, yeah, the so the men are fighting their butts off against Galactus. Like, they're doing their thing, and of course Sue is like using her invisible woman powers because she's Sue Storm and she's like one of the most powerful women in Marvel, which is true, by the way. I'm setting up the thing. She's doing her little like like invisible woman power thing, like, hey girl, and I was like, hey girl, and they was like, hey girl, and that's what, like, Pedro Pascal being like, hey, that's my wife, and she's looking hot and everything, and like, he's getting beaten up, barely using his stretching powers, by the way. Like, still not forgiving that movie, still not forgiving that. And they're doing their thing. The Thing is doing his thing. He's trying to take on Galactus, but it's just not enough. But Sue is using her powers to just, like, put, because the portal opens. Okay, so there's so conveniently the portal opens to stop Galactus. Okay, we're stopping Galactus, and she's doing her visible woman powers, but it's just not enough, and the men are not getting it done. Like, all the members of the Fantastic Four are not just like, they're taking it on, and then of course the one, like, when Johnny's about to go with the final blow, you know who steals the thunder? Of course, it's the woman. It's the Silver Surfer, her, Shia LaBeouf. She beats Galactus. Her and Sue take out Galactus, and there we go. Of course, you already knew they were gonna do. They have to get a little bit of MCU. If they don't have MCU, I don't know what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? See how that rhyme? Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So overall, like, now let me give you a little bit of the positives. Okay. Once again, they got the science thing right with the Fantastic Four. If you know the Fantastic Four comic books and cartoons and all of the media, it's a heavenly science type of group of people. So if you're into science, I think you'll like this. If you're into science fiction, you'll like this. If you're into the space race and NASA thing, I like NASA. I grew up in the NASA household, so like that was something that I can appreciate. I think that part was good or whatever. Oh yeah, and also they skipped the origin story a little bit, which that's cool. I'm cool with that. They did a little bit of skipping of the origin story. They established that they're already good, so that's another good point about the movie. I gotta give credit to. And what else? So you got science fiction, oh, and yeah, the 1960 themes or whatever, like the theme look or whatever. You're gonna love this movie, but for me personally, it just wasn't hitting. Once again, the Galactus thing was just stupid, man. Like, his motivation on trying to eat the Earth is dumb, and making Franklin his predecessor and his person that he wants to raise to be the next Galactus is stupid. Like, that's not Galactus's character. Like, that's stupid. That's dumb. Also, making the Silver Surfer her, like, um, not Norm Rat, and that's dumb too. So that was horrible. Still not a fan of it. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad on film. They actually made it work or whatever with the love thing between her and Johnny Storm or whatever. Okay, so overall, what do I give this movie? I still give it a 5 out of 10. Like, once again, it was just not hitting. I don't know what Gary and Chris Gore and all my other colleagues in the fellowship were thinking with this. I totally disagree with them, and you know what? That's perfectly fine. We're still friends. We're still gonna kick it or whatever. I believe this weekend there's gonna be a convention, and I might make it out there to the Bell County convention. I'm not sure. That's like I'm gonna see what I can do, but overall, video's done. Like, share, and subscribe, and also you're gonna get a two for today. So I'm gonna have another video that's something that I actually like. Um, that's gonna drop too with this video. So if the Fantastic Four was not for you, I think I got a different video for you. So like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Big Dog Jake, Liquid Ebola, Phantom X, peace and love and chicken grease. I love you guys. Peace.